Hello everyone, it's Janette here, enthusiastic gardener. And yeah, I'm sitting watching Gardener's World. Look at this beautiful garden. How stunning is that? So I'm watching Gardener's World. I have a pile of gardening magazines that I'm flicking through. But I thought you might like to see my view. This is where I sit watching TV at night, every night. And this is the view that I see. So welcome back to my garden, and we're at the end of July now, in the middle of the summer. I've got the fountains on. It's been quite a warm day today. I have a very special video for you today. I'm very excited to share with you another garden, a garden of my very dear friend across the pond, all the way in West Virginia, my friend Teresa. And she has very kindly filmed a wonderful video. I don't have a view from my garden. She has the most spectacular view, which I'm going to show you, and it is just beautiful. This is a very gorgeous hydrangea, which I believe is called Magical Princess, and that has been stunning. I think it is a very good year for hydrangeas. This is the border that I planted very recently from hanging baskets, which were in Woodland Courtyard. So that's all doing very well. And I have a very beautiful rose, is looking stunning. I wanted to share it before I miss the opportunity. That's my Ruby Wedding 40th anniversary rose. And this is the other fountain which is on. I love this little vignette. I think Linda Barter would call it a little vignette. It's the crocosmia with the cat. That cat is actually quite tall, so it just goes to show how much that crocosmia grows in one season. So let me tell you a little bit about the garden that we're going to have a look at today. So Teresa and I have been friends since I very first started my channel in February 2020, and she got in touch way back then. She used to watch my videos way back when I had no subscribers at all. She was one of the very first, and she one day messaged me and said, do you know what, I'd like to do a YouTube channel, but I don't know if I can. And I said, Teresa, just do it. Just do a YouTube channel. So she did. And her channel is now very successful. And it's called Gardening on the West Fork with Teresa. Teresa lives in West Virginia on the West Fork River. Now, if you think you've seen lovely views from a garden, I mean, I have no view from my garden. It's just fences. I have some very big trees. It's all very nice, but I don't have a view. Well, Teresa has a view to die for, everyone. She has a beautiful garden. Her house, as you'll see, it's up high and then it looks down into the garden. It's spectacular. So she is right on the West Fork River. It's beautiful. She has a husband, Reginald. They're just such a good team. But Reginald is an artist. His artwork is amazing. They hold open houses sometimes, and you can see all his artwork, and then she'll take you on a tour of her garden, and they show that on videos as well sometimes. But his artwork is gorgeous, and you'll see in the video she has a lot of art pieces that Reginald or Reg has made for her in the garden. It's all so lovely. It's idyllic. As I say, she has the river right at the base of her garden. It's a zone 5 to 6, I believe. It's gorgeous. So without further ado, let's head over and meet Teresa in her garden.
Hi guys, hi Janette. This is so fun. Thanks to you, Janette, must have been 3 years ago, I found her on YouTube and we bantered back and forth. And I don't know how it happened. I think I said, how did you do that? And she just challenged me to do my own channel. I'm Teresa, gardening on the West Fork, and I live in Weston, West Virginia, United States of America. And it's all Janette's influence, which I'm so thankful for, because I've met so many interesting people who have my interests. And people may say we're quirky, but I don't think so. But this is my garden, and I get to show you in her channel, and I'm so excited about that. I'm very fortunate that my husband, and you'll see some of his art pieces in the garden, he is my videographer. And anyhow, I'm a perennial gardener. I've been on this property 32 years. It's a very mature garden. And my idea of gardening is when I'm sitting on my deck, on the upper deck, I want to be able to see the colors. I want to be able to see the flowers. And so I like to repeat things, and I love to see the color. And so if you come down into the garden with me, I'll show you some of my plants. So in my little island bed, I have collected plants from so many people. My beautiful pink yarrow is from Mrs. Hunt's, and I've carried it everywhere I've moved. My daylilies that you see throughout the garden, some were given to me by a friend named Bergen. Others were collected. We used to have 2 beautiful daylily farms. And what interests me about them is they just bloom for, we're going on 3 weeks now. And they have such beautiful color that I think is so striking in a summer garden, especially. The names are fun, and I won't go into a lot of them. But, some of them, like this big yellow one, it's called Big Bird. There's just beautiful. There's Jamaican Me Crazy, Reggie's Brown Eyed Girl. I made up with that. What I love about my garden in the summer right now is there are so many spectacular colors. Particularly, I love this little nook right here when you have your crocosmia. This is Lucifer against this beautiful big bird, and the double orange daylily that my neighbor gave me. But also I love seeing the white garden phlox. You have lithorum growing. It's just this beautiful impact of color. That clematis has been blooming all year, and I can't tell you the name of it. I also do interplant with some, these are lily-put zinnias. Oh, I can see that my sedum, this is sedum autumn joy. Look at the pink color, and our gardens are full of plant life. The bees, the cats. But anyhow, I have a few little roses. This is a little Bonica shrub rose. I don't have a lot of roses. My garden doesn't grow roses well. And a wise person, Mrs. Bly, she told me, grow what your garden grows. Look at this. I love things that reseed in my garden. This is dill. I think the plant is absolutely beautiful. And I like things to go to seed. So it's like I like them coming up. You can see back here, this is Cleome. It comes back every year from seed. It's not really invasive, but it's beautiful. On my large structures, particularly on this pergola, I like to grow just a simple little morning glory. It softens the whole look by the end of the season. And I think structures are nice, but they need to be softened. Before we leave, I'll show you how my compost pile, my compost fence that hides the compost pile, is softened by that. But in the garden, you can, again, I repeat plants. These are not all the same daylilies. I have so many varieties. But I do like to repeat the tall garden white phlox. I have beautiful purple echinacea. I have interplanted the front border with my catmint. We do have deer pressure, just a little deer pressure, right, Reg?
Just a little.
Just a little. And between using liquid fence and planting some things that the garden, that the deer won't eat, it's been very helpful. The structure of those grasses adds so much impact. But if you'll notice the beautiful purple trees in the background, and Reg, you can maybe zero in on those. He's the artist here, and those are all done on old metal barn roofing. and I never take them inside. They just hold up so well, and they add so much interest, particularly in the sunny border during the summer. I just love that color. In front of the grasses is my invincible limetta hydrangea. There's 2 of those. It always is in bloom and adds a nice impact of color. But the next, I'm going to show you these hostas. I have them on both sides of the border. We're going to go to the shade border right now. So the title Gardening on the West Fork is because what you see in front of us is the West Fork River. And you will find me here every morning at 5:30 with a cup of coffee and the cats watching the fog rise. We're so fortunate to have this beautiful river, all kinds of waterfowl that borders this property. It makes it very intimate. It's a very quiet location. And what you see here that we're under is while we bought this house, this beautiful willow tree, which we're trying to save. It's 60 years old. The one next to us is 90 years old because the neighbors told us that. But the willow tree creates this wonderful environment for what we call the fern forest. You know, it's just beautiful. I love how the ferns just envelop this whole area. It changes the feeling when you walk over here. You'll see another beautiful hanging metal piece of art, and that is from Reg again. And these, like I say, never come in. They're always here. I've added some color to the front border of the tree. This is very dry shade, so I do keep it watered. But the Brunnera, these beautiful sea heart Brunnera, the heucheras, add such an impact of color for shade. I love it. I like to mirror both gardens by adding the same hosta. I like repetition. So we have the hostas. These are Japanese painted ferns, which add a nice textural change. And then throughout the garden, you can see the ferns are here. We have this is called an Eastern Redbud tree in the center. It's a nice little understory tree. It's about 3 years old now. Gets a pretty purple bud on it. The climbing roses are wonderful. The Japanese beetles this year have really attacked them, but on Zephyrin Druin, you can see the pretty pink buds. You know, I deal with the Japanese beetles by not doing anything, and let's just pick them off. I don't spray. I just try to keep things as organic as possible. And this is Reggie's Harry Lauder walking stick, which, how old is it?
Oh, probably 25 years old.
Yeah.
At least.
And I give thanks to my 7-year-old granddaughter who told me, get a bench, put it under the tree, just about 6 weeks ago. And we did it, and I sit here in between admiring the garden and then, you know, working, cleaning. But it's just such a nice spot. It's always shaded under this tree. I love it. That's Lamian in the front, which is such a nice color to pick up under a shaded area. I like a blue shade with some purple flowers. The heucheras in the back are gorgeous. Those are my High Hopes heuchera, that chartreuse green, adds so much color. My favorite pot this year that I planted is this lovely specimen pot. And what it is, it's a perennial pot. It has my hostas. It has my ferns. I threw a little heuchera in there. And come wintertime, I take the whole pot out, put it in the soil, and I'll bring it back up next spring. So it's very frugal too. But as we come around this way, I love lamb's ear to also soften a border, which you saw in the perennial garden, excuse me. But anyway, this is one of my favorite ground covers, and I have several in the garden. I have in this area here, this is just my simple little vegetable garden. I do a lot more in pots. I have a couple pots of tomatoes, small little cherry tomatoes, but that's a West Virginia hillbilly tomato back here that a friend gave me to try the seeds, which I love. I have pole beans, and they're called Another Neighbor. These are Roby Rogers. These are from her great-grandfather to her grandfather and hers that are growing in some peppers. Don't know what kind of squash this is. I'm just letting it grow. But behind this beautiful fence is my compost pile. And so I always try and soften it for my neighbor with a beautiful little morning glory. And these echinacea came up from seed this year. How lucky am I? But anyhow, this is what our garden looks like in summer. And today was 96 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 35 degrees Celsius, pretty warm. But let's end this little garden tour in front of our pond. No fish in there. Too many years of floods would take the fish out. But this is all mint, which adds a nice fragrance. And yes, I do know it can be invasive, but I've had this little stand of mint here for as long as we've been here, right,
Forever.
Reg? Forever. Yeah. So, Janette, thank you so much for inviting me to show my garden. And we will see you guys. Check me out if you want to on Gardening on the West Fork. But otherwise, Janette, have a great day. And thank you. We'll see you. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed that video. I love Teresa's garden and I love Teresa as well. And as I say, we've been friends now since 2020 and we often messaging each other, often giving each other advice and chats, and she's a very, very lovely, lovely lady. So I hope that you will head over and go and watch more of her videos and subscribe to her channel as well. You won't be disappointed because it's beautiful. I'm Janette, I'm the Enthusiastic Gardener, and I hope you're having fun in your gardens, and the next time I see you is going to be August already. So take care everyone, and see you soon. Bye.